All right, so story time. Once upon a time, I was in a fraternity. And I was in one of the best fraternities on my campus. Everybody on the campus knew us. And we had the best parties, in my opinion. The party part, and there have been to maybe one or two other places that had cool parties. But look, ain't nobody ever had parties the way we had parties. I don't care. But that being said, nigga used to be gone a lot. I'm talking blackout, gone. So here's the story time. I lived in the chapter house, right? With what, like 8 of my bros? And there was always people running in and out every single day. And of course the bros bought hoes. And so there was one of the bros who, this man was Greek god level with pulling. Like, I have never seen him miss. Even in games where he wasn't shooting, I have seen him hit shots, throwing passes. I seen him hit shots just going to a timeout. You feel me? Regardless, he usually had something bad around. And this is a white kid, so I'm talking like all-American type look, right? Which means he was pulling Barbies, all-American looking Barbie blondes and shit, right? And so, in particular, there's one. She was fine. I don't really remember what she looked like. Don't remember her name. I just remember that a lot of other bros was on his neck about how fine she was because she was all over him, on him. And so this is where it gets kind of weird for me. Is I thought that they was locked in. I know him, and I know he move around, he get around, but he also will sit down to lock something down for a period of time, right? So like, as soon as little shorty started coming around, she stopped coming around. And so I don't be getting in folks' business. I don't get in folks' business. I just let it be. And like I said, I never really got her name. So I knew who she was. I knew she knew who I was. But we never had a one-on-one conversation from what I can recall. Now, like I said, I used to be gone, faded, lit regularly. Literally, there was Chuck, and then there was drunk Chuck. There was Chuck, and there was blackout Chuck. There was a fine line between the two, and I ain't even know it. Drunk Chuck was like. I still don't know what he liked. Anyways, so the house doors are pretty much just open. Like, there's one door that was always almost open though. We had 2 side doors, and one of the side doors was almost always open. So anybody who hung out enough at the house would just realize that, and we would just tell people like, doors open, come in, right? Stupid. Anyways, this is what's perplexing me. Like I said, we had the parties, they was lit. One day, you know, I'm still Chuck. I think I'm coming from rehearsal or class, so I'm just fresh to the party. And as I'm walking in, I see homie's girl after they broke up. But it's weird because it's like she just chilling in the spot like she's supposed to be here, right? And it's not weird for the sense this is a fraternity, sorority, so they still be around, but like she wasn't with her girls. This whole moment, like in my head, it reads like a movie because I'm walking up the porch, I'm walking up to the steps, and then I get to the door, and it's like she's waiting at the door like she's the bouncer or something, and like everybody cleared away. And so as I walk up, I just hear her say, "Hey," and I'm like, "What's up?" And she was like, "You remember that time?" And I was like, "Huh?" She's like, "Remember that time I fucked the shit out of you?" I said, "What? What? Is this my boy's girl?" So first off, I'm just surprised by the direct address and the look in her face. Secondly, I'm like, win, bro, win. Cause this, I said, I'll be, bow. I ain't think I'd be that gone, dog. I know if I got some kitty, and even if I don't remember getting the kitty the next day, I know it feel a little different. It smell a little. When? And so I was so taken off by one, just the approach, and two, I'm just getting to the party. So it's like, it's music. I'm scanning to see who's all here. I get to the door. I'm like, oh, hey, huh? What? And she just, and like turns. And so I walk inside and I'm just like, what the fuck? And somebody walk up to me like, yo, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, bro, this nigga girl just looked at me and said, do you remember the time that I fucked the shit out of you? And they said, what? You fucked her? And I'm like, I don't know. This isn't funny. Like, this isn't funny. But I didn't know what to do. First off, I'm like, yo, hold up. I don't remember this. Is she lying to me? Is she playing with me? Like, is she saying this to get to him? Like, but then I stopped to remember that our house is always open. And that if anybody who came around that fucking knows that, then they know that. You feel me? They can come in whenever. And I be drunk. I be faded. There's plenty of times where I left the spot 12, 1, 2 o'clock, and stumbled ass home to go to sleep. At least 2 or 3 times, I didn't make it off the couch. And unfortunately enough, there was one night that I was slizzard sauced. And I woke up, booty cheeks out on the couch. Now, granted, this is my bedroom. It was my bedroom. It was a shared bedroom, but we had a couch in the bedroom. And I just woke up literally like, drenched, sweating, and looked down, completely, you feel me, birthday suit. And so I'm like, that whole time I was trying to figure out why I ain't had no clothes on. You telling me it's because this little bitch was in my bed? Now, again, like, it's not funny. Technically, if it did happen, I was taken advantage of. But I don't even remember. Don't even remember. And another thing that's crazy is she was fine. She was fine. That's something I would want to remember. But also, this was the bro's girl. I wouldn't do something like that. At least not with running it by the bro before, during, or after. So now I'm walking around like, damn, she probably was in it, bitch. I go ham. And then sending this nigga pics and stuff. This nigga probably hate me. And I don't even know what's going on. I'm over here. And she, man, look, all I gotta say is, I think her name was Sarah. I don't know. If that was true, if that did happen, you're weird. You're a weirdo, bitch. That's all I gotta say. You're weird. Why you do that to me? Put me in that position and that predicament. And I'm still sitting here. This is over 10 years ago. I'm sitting here trying to figure out if this actually happened or not still. Don't be blackout, I guess.